Hey friends, I am, we're having our first gray day here at Crystal Lake. Well, maybe it's the second gray day. And so we're just kind of hanging out, laying low, doing indoorsy type stuff. And something showed up yesterday for me that I was, it's not a new insight necessarily, but it's something that I realized vacation is actually really good at illuminating. Because when we go on vacation, we ostensibly, I mean, this may not always be the case for all of us all the time, but we have the opportunity to have some time to just do whatever we want. That's the idea of vacation, right? It's time when we can do whatever we want. Now, obviously, if you go on vacation with family and if you have kids, there's still a lot of being on duty, even during vacation time. But by and large, the demands, the sort of scheduling and the time constraints, the energetic constraints, the deadlines of normal working life kind of fall away, and we have time to devote to being together, to devote to the activities we love, blah, 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 blah. I'm not defining vacation. I don't know why I'm defining vacation. Most of you probably have some sense of what vacation is about. But my point is, vacation does something, it can be very illuminating in a particular way, which is what kind of showed up for me yesterday, which is when we're in a space of being able to do whatever we want, the mind can exhibit a tendency to find problems to solve. And it's very telling that even in an environment where we actually kind of can do whatever we want, we still find ourselves addicted to problems. And it's because the thing is, in normal work life, normal everyday life, we're likely to have problems to solve, right? We're likely to have to deal with issues. There's going to be stuff that's coming at us. We're working with life. And it's easy for those things to feel like they're showing up because they're part of life. This is part of my work. This is part of my daily routine, whatever it is. But on vacation, we start to notice that we are the manufacturers of our own problems, because there are fewer things being imposed upon us, more time for our own autonomy and kind of freedom of choice to do whatever we want, and yet we might very quickly find ourselves in a situation where our mind is chasing problems. And so what I was observing in my own mind is I'm coming up with problems to solve, and it's like, why am I doing that? What's going on? Am I not okay unless I have a problem? And this is the thing. This is kind of the key. That's really the heart of it. A lot of us don't feel okay unless we have a problem to solve. I'm going to say that again because it feels important. Many of us don't feel okay unless we have a problem to solve. So in other words, there's a kind of very surface level sense in which we are ostensibly going through our days, solving problems so that we can get to a place of ease and peace or success or whatever it is that that lies on the other side of those problems. We're solving problems to get to where we want to go. But when we go to a place where we actually sort of, it's almost like being booted into a new realm of of not having the resource of our usual problems, we realize, no, I'm not solving my problems to get to peace. I'm actually actively repelling peace by continually manufacturing problems. And if we can get this, if we can actually see this happening in our own mind and in our own circumstances, because it starts in the mind, right? But then quickly we want to see manifestations of these problems that we need. So we're going to create them. We're going to start making those problems occur in real, like in the world, out in the actual, in our relationships and our circumstances, whatever. But if we can see that happening, oh my God, hallelujah, a new era of freedom has arrived. Because, well, sort of, a new era of freedom becomes possible because that mechanism of manufacturing problems as a way of, we're not really repelling peace, we're not repelling our own peace of mind, but we're repelling that space, that infinite space that is a totally transparent, totally unfiltered, unmanufactured, honest look at our actual lives and our actual circumstances, who we really are, what we really do. All of that stuff, that's the thing that's hard to look at. It's hard to look reality in the eye. It's not easy because it involves looking at a potentially overwhelming volume of karma. It involves being really transparent to ourselves about all the ways in which we are responsible for our circumstances, and any of the sort of deflective, putting the blame outside of ourselves tendencies that we have. All of those are instantly visible. Perfect clarity exists from that space, and to let all that in, to drop all the bullshit all at once and let all that in is a lot. That's a lot. So this is why going on vacation can often be more stressful than our regular lives. You come back from vacation and it's like, I need a break. I just need some time. Time from what? Time away? Time what? No, I just had a vacation. Why am I so stressed? Right? There's this kind of like reeling from the experience of vacation that can happen. Hopefully none of you have ever experienced this and you all go on vacation and it's blissful and idyllic and there's nothing wrong. But I'm guessing that maybe one or two people out there can relate to this. Vacation can be more stressful than regular life because in vacation we have to work harder to manufacture the various problems and barriers to that space of total transparency. Now, again, if we are doing inner work and if we've done inner work for any amount of time and we sort of have some experience with this, then most likely this is not going to be a brand new phenomenon to us. It's not going to be totally, the notion that we are manufacturing our own problems. It might still be surprising. It surprises me. I've done a lot of this work for a long time, and yet when I watch that mechanism in operation, I'm like, wow, damn, it's still running like a top, Even though I've leveraged a lot of awareness and, curiosity and interest at this issue, it's something that fascinates me, and I just love the way the human mind works. I love watching life unfold. I love watching myself and other humans kind of play that game of ducking and diving from our own awareness. Ultimately, that's all we're doing. We're hiding from ourselves. We're playing hide and seek with ourselves. There's a light in there that sees everything, and it can see everything all in one glance at any instant. But we don't always let that happen. We're sort of like, we like the shadows. We like this over here. We're playing our own little game of hide and seek. So, two little beautiful cherubs just walked into the room. So you may hear some voices coming in from the outside. But anyway, this is kind of what showed up yesterday in this space where there's room to listen to those voices and to hear that, to kind of like to hear myself creating problems and go, wait, what's going on? Why would I do that? Why would I? What's the end game here? And then ideally, what I've done, I think, an okay job of on this particular vacation is bringing back some stillness, coming back to some stillness, and letting, I can't stop myself from thinking these thoughts. I can't stop myself. Had it showing up in meditation again this morning. I can't stop my ego from doing what it does, whether it's a competitive streak, whether it's a comparing myself, whether it's kind of undermining or judging circumstances and people, and I can't stop my ego from doing that, but I can observe that in my ego. I can watch it happen, and a little bit of stillness goes a long way. Once we're watching it happen, then the key is don't recoil from it. Don't think, oh God, that's such a horrible thing about me. I can't believe I'm such a horrible person, and because that's going to make us want to look away even more, and then it's going to happen automatically in the subconscious without us watching it. But if we can see it and not recoil from it, we can then install just a little bit of a gap between that kind of ego program running and our behavior, what we bring into our behavior through action, through when in relationship. We can actually, there's a little bit of a stopgap there. And again, I think to me this is one of the most profound uses of vacation, and I will say over the years I definitely have experienced my fair share of stressful vacations for precisely the reasons that I just outlined, but I've also had a fair number of experiences of vacation as being a time of precisely this kind of reflection. And it's really good to turn off the spigot of ongoing problems and then watch ourselves, how we compensate for that. What do we do when we don't have that reliable set of issues or set of kind of like, defenses really is what they amount to. Those problems amount to defenses against clarity and vision and transparency and honesty. When we put those down, what do we do? What comes up in their place? What's our strategy? Because that mechanism is exactly the same one that's operating in our normal lives. It's just more visible in a context where we've kind of shut off a lot of the autopilot mechanisms that our normal lives might just inherently involve with our work, the flow of deadlines in work, the flow of relationships in our work, or whatever, So it's just something that has struck me as really significant and kind of and I've had the experience of coming back from vacation and really feeling a deepened clarity, a greater sense of ease in my regular life, because I've just taken one tier, one layer off of the automated problems are us Inc. corporation. I've just taken it down a notch in terms of productivity. So I offer that to any of you who might be on vacation. Thanks for watching, folks. Appreciate you. So much love. Have a wonderful day.